will burn away. You know, these bodies, they're not going into the chariot, man. Okay,
brother. Come on, this way. Verse 17, it says that the world passes away, the lust thereof, but do the will of Yahweh abideth forever.
I said what? Them that do the will of the Heavenly Father, do the only begotten Son, Yahweh is going to abide forever. He's the one that's going to be denied the charagma. The reason why we always talk about the charagma, we're in that season. Okay? We're in the season of where the charagma is going to be implemented, you know, to be mandatory. Okay? We're coming into that. So of course we're going to keep on speaking about it, man. That's the main thing. That's going to really determine your salvation, man. You know? If you take the charagma, you ain't going to make it, man. Because why? You gave into the lust of the flesh. I gotta please my wife. I still gotta pay these bills. You worried about the earthly things, man, instead of the heavenly things, man. Okay, that's gonna get you killed out here, man. But you're hearkening into the word, feeding the spirit. Okay, being truly the true intellectuals. I'm gonna keep on saying that because I like that, man. You know, the true intellectuals are the ones that can reason truth. That's the nation of Israel, man. Okay? Then you gonna make it. The Lord's will be a part of that number, man. Okay, you know that? That was it. Can you get the Proverbs?
Yeah.
Sinners entice you.
In this Proverbs 1:10, it says, "My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not."
It says, "Consent thou not," and that's where we got how we went into sensual or consensual, man. Because consensual means with the senses, man. With carnality. Sinners entice thee, and Esau is enticing the hell out of you. You're not supposed to give your body over to that. They're promoting nothing but weakness. Sinners entice thee in a amazing right? The real sinners. Because to sin, you got to have the law, statutes, and commandments, man. You got to be breaking them. And who was that law given to? Israel. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So when sinners entice you, all right, people try to get you to do something evil, okay? Don't give yourself over to that, man. All right, don't flood yourself with the pleasures of the flesh, man. Because what they're doing, that's all it fulfills, man. Okay? That's what you want to read?
Con, it says, Proverbs 1:11, it says, "If they say, come with us, let us lie, wait for blood, let us lurk privately."
Yeah, let's get this revenge. This man did me wrong. All right? You go do him dirty. We all know that revenge feels amazing, okay? But are we ought to do that? No. You know? It feels good to the body, all right? Are we ought to do that now? No. You gotta wait for the Lord, man.
Hey, the scriptures say vengeance is of the Lord.
That's right.
That's right. So, hey, we're not out here trying to, make riots and this and that and the third. Because why? Because the scriptures say you gotta wait for the Lord first, man.
And that takes away from the fulfillment of fleshly desires, man. You know, if somebody do you wrong, you wanna do them bad, man. You wanna do them in. But it takes more of the spirit, to have control of your body and tap into the spirit. So you know what? The Lord gonna deal with you. That takes a lot of strength.
Hey, and you gotta think of it like this too. That's even it's fearful to be in the hands of the Lord, man.
That's right.
So you say, you know what? You walk away, you put a curse on them, because a lot of people who've done brothers wrong, man, as Gad-Troop, man.
That's right. The Lord got them worse than what we could ever do to them, man.
Yep.
Jack them up spiritually, jack them up in the mind. All right, because like I said, all we can do is physical. Yep. The Lord can break somebody's psyche, man. Have them go crazy, man. Okay? So it's better to leave it to the Lord and take over and be carnal, man. It's always a win to be spiritual.
I'll back that up with something. Sirach 21 verse 5. A prayer out of a poor man's mouth reaches the ears of the Heavenly Father.
That's right.
And his judgment cometh speedily.
That's why it says in Proverbs 34, this poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and delivered him out of all of his troubles, man. So that poor man is really talking about King David, which is he's the representation of the elect. Okay, all right. They're gonna cry unto the Lord. The Lord's gonna take care of things, man. But that all goes back to the trust and believing in Yahweh by Shai, which 2/3 of people they don't have. You know, they can't reason with this truth. They can't understand that the Lord is taking care of all these things. You just got to trust in Him. Okay. Any more, Never?
What's it?
John, it says Proverbs 1 and 11. It says, if they say, come with us, let us lie wait for blood. Let us lurk privately for the innocent without cause.
Meaning what? Giving it, that's the fleshly desire. Can we read it?
It says, let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. It says, we shall find all precious substance.
What? We'll get him, take him out the earth, take all his stuff, get rich off of him. These are all what? Fulfilling the lust of the flesh. Okay? Not tapping into the spirit. All right? That's what we're pushing. Tapping into the spirit, turning back to Yakalba Page, feeding the spirit, man. Not feeding the flesh, man.
God, it says, we shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lots among us. Let us, let us all have one purse.
Yeah, it's saying, what? Sit down not with that. Don't give over to the flesh. Okay? Because the end of those, man, is nothing but destruction, man. Okay? You know? Giving into that evil way. Okay? All right? So that's what I'm saying. The spirit, that's the difference between 2/3 and the elect. 2/3 is going to give into the central, and the elect, they're going to give into the spiritual, man, which is going to lead them to life. 2/3 is going to lead them to death, because the carnality, we get that also, to be carnal is death. To be carnally minded, okay? Instead of being spiritually minded. When you're carnal, your flesh rules that mind. There's only one road that you're going down, man. All right, the end of it is death. All right, but when you have the spirit taking over, all right, instead of the flesh, there's one way to go, and that's life.
Romans 8 verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death.
So to have that carnal mind, that sensual mind, all right, is death. Given into these pleasures of your five senses, man.
But to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
To be spiritually minded, knowing of the Lord, having reasoning of truth. They said the spirit, what? When the flesh takes over, we still battle this to this day. Okay? I use the example of a woman, because a woman, she could be fine as hell. Each brother's perfect type. You know, but she has a man. But she's coming on to you. The flesh is saying, a woman like this for a long minute, but the spirit be like, nah, man, the Lord gonna jack me up. Which one of you gonna take heed to? Okay, the flesh or the spirit, man? Okay, one's gonna lead you to death and one's gonna lead you to life. All right, one's gonna please you for the moment and the other one's gonna please you for eternity, man. Okay, which one are you gonna take? And 2/3 of our people, they took the quick way out. Okay, they took the way of Esau, man. You know, pleasing his flesh for a moment. And gave up the kingdom, man. Okay?
This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. It says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life.
Read that one more time, bro, from the top.
Yeah, this is the book of James 1 and 12. It says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation.
That endureth temptation, then you're fighting against it, man. All right, because it said when you come to serve the Lord, you know, prepare yourself for temptation. You know, mind you, why? Because what? You're now, like the brother said beautifully, you're now suffering. Because you're not, what? Fulfilling what the flesh wants. Okay? Okay?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, us enduring like temptation. That's us proving that, you know, we for the Lord, man.
That's right.
That's us proving that, you know, we want to stick by the Lord, man. You know, if we give in to every fleshly desire, you know, we wouldn't really be men of the Lord, man.
That's right.
All right, we wouldn't be followers of Yahweh Shai. All right. I'll start from the top again. This is James 1 and 12. It says, blessed is the man that endureth temptation.
The less goes into favor. You're favored by the Lord when you're fighting against temptation instead of giving into it, man. You know?
Yep. It says, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
Because what? Gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men, keyword acceptable. To be acceptable, you got to be tried as gold. You got to endure that. You got to keep on fighting through that temptation, man. Through the fire, you got to, you can't just be like, oh, burn me up, man. You're like wood. And you gotta get moving in that temptation, man. Because remember, the Lord said what? He'll make a way for you to escape. Do you believe that, though? That's the real question. Do you honestly believe that? So if you're going to be favored if you're enduring or fighting against that temptation instead of giving into it.
Yeah, it says, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of Yahweh, for Yahweh cannot be tempted with evil.
That's right.
Neither tempted he any man.
That's right. So you can't blame the Lord. You wanted that. That's what the real thing is, man. Lord, you sent this beautiful woman in front of me. You know this is my type of woman. The Lord's like, you know what? You know my word. Yep. You say you fear me, but you went ahead and did that act, man. What's going on? You really was is that you wanted that so bad that you didn't give a damn what I said. That's what's gonna get you destroyed.
Yeah, the Lord has sent a beautiful woman in your direction or to you, just so He can destroy you. many men went out and they wished for a woman.
That's right. That's a sad way to go out, man. A woman come up to you, you fell out because of her. What?
That's how it be though, man. Jake, our people, we don't really be, a lot of Jake is kind of deprived from having like women and stuff like that, man. So when Jake see that, he think he like a lion in the jungle that's and that woman likes to stay, man. You gotta keep away. Give me this one. It says verse 14. It says, but every man is tempted, and when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed, then when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. All right, so it's a process, all right? You feeling like you want to do something, go off, all right? You do the sin, all right, and the Lord He gonna jack you up. He gonna judge you, man. And then eventually you gonna die, man.
Nah, Ecclesiastes.
If you keep on indulging in
7
iniquity.
to 26. Yeah.
All right?
Yep. Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 7 verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, in her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth the Heavenly Father shall escape from her, but the
exactly. So, those so basically, if you're not men of the Lord, if the Lord isn't dealing with you, then what's gonna happen? You're gonna be overtaken by that woman. So at the end of the day, if a woman leaves a brother, if you have a woman, she might leave you, for whatever reason. Hey, that's the Lord Yahweh Shai putting a spirit on her to leave you. Because what? Let's read it again, brother.
Ecclesiastes 7 verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, in her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth the Heavenly Father shall escape from her.
Yeah, exactly. Because this woman could be a trap. So you might have you went ahead and loved this woman. You know what I'm saying? And then what? The Lord just take her away from you. Why? Because at the end of the day, like the scriptures say, Romans 8 and 28, it says all things work out good for the elect, basically paraphrasing. So if the Lord take away, anything from you, you might have liked that certain thing, then at the end of the day, that was for your own benefit. That was for your own improvement.
Yep. As they say, remember, 2/3 don't want to suffer though. So they go take it away from them, and they go try to hold on. Once a time, for the brother send it to me in the chat, there's a picture of somebody holding a rope that was tied around their hand. And it says sometimes holding on to do more damage than letting go, man. So our people want to hold on to this world, they're gonna end up perishing with it, man. Okay. What's that in Isaiah the 13th chapter? It says
Give me
I think it's like verse 14. I said, those that are cleaved unto this world basically are gonna fall by the sword. You know, they're gonna fall by the sword, man. The Lord is gonna destroy them because they cleaved unto Esau, man. Okay, you know, instead of cleaving unto the Lord. Go ahead.
Yeah, if a brother can give me John 12 and 24.
I'll get it. This is the book of John, chapter 12, verse 24. It says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth much more fruit. He that loveth this life shall lose it, and he that hateth this life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal.
Yeah, exactly. So if you truly love, if you love your life, if you love your Babylonian life, within this world, if you don't cast that off, then eventually you're gonna lose your life anyways. Because what? Let's say, when the Kragma is mandatory, you're gonna have to take it, so you want to keep your life within this Babylonian society. You're gonna get destroyed anyways. So if you give up what you have now for the Lord's sake, you're ultimately gonna gain your life. Because again, like the scriptures say, we brought down the lesson, 2nd Ezra chapter 7, basically to get through that city, which that city represents, the kingdom. You need to go through that straight gate.
Right.
Straight and narrow.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So in order to attain these good things, you're gonna have to cast away. You're gonna have to make a sacrifice ultimately for the Lord. If a brother can give me Romans 12 and 1.
I'm gonna get it right here.
Exactly, because ultimately you gotta make a sacrifice unto the Lord, man. You can't just keep all what you have. For example, you see how Kendrick Lamar or all these celebrities are saying, oh yeah, I'm an Israelite, or Kanye West. Yeah, so you see how these celebrities like Kanye West, they completely turn back. Kanye West has that post on his Instagram, basically saying that he's I guess he likes the Jays now.
Like,
So that shows you, in every single celebrity man I've seen so far that mentioned the truth has turned back, or some of the truth at least has turned back completely on those words. You had Nick Cannon, he was saying some stuff, he turned back, he bowed down to Esau. You got Kyrie Irving, he went ahead and bowed down to Esau again after saying what he said, which he's bugged out anyways. And then Kanye West, the latest guy basically. He went ahead and said all this stuff, and then now look at that one post he got on Instagram, about the small hats. So, brother, if you can read that.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. Beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, the Most High, which is your reasonable servant.
Like, read again, brother.
Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. Yeah,
so at the end of the day, serving the Lord is our reasonable service. And it's just said you're supposed to make your body, a living sacrifice. Because this is our service at the end of the day. Us Israelite men are created to serve the Lord, not to serve the flesh. So in order to serve the Lord within this captivity, we know this captivity, Babylon, which is America, is, wicked as hell. So, there's certain things that are standard, that are so-called normal within the society, So serving the Lord, a lot of this stuff is completely opposite, towards serving Yakalba Page.
That's right.
So, if you don't cast those things off, make a sacrifice, then, at the end of the day, the Lord's going to cast you off. You're supposed to make, again, your body a living sacrifice. Because why? It's your reasonable service.
That's right.
duty, bro.
Yeah, look up the word reasonable.
Duty.
Look up the word reasonable.
Yep.
Hey,
The, the dictionary definition.
Oh, slide.
Is it a dictionary?
I didn't see it.
definition?
Yep.
Let me get that. The dictionary definition says reasonable.
All right, that's a humbling statement. This is your reasonable service unto me. You got some guys that got the mindset like they going out the way for the Lord.
Yeah, you know, you got some Jake
You know,
coming
that
like,
Jake
Lord,
lifted
I'm
up.
only doing this because you told me to do it. Nah, man, you're not supposed to be in that spirit. The Lord, hey, man, get this nigga out of here, man. You know,
Yeah,
the
we
Lord
do
don't want...
things out of fear, of course. You know, at the end of the day, we're doing it because, you know, the Lord put the spirit on us to do it. It's because we might be of the hopeful elect. What did Scripture say? Put on as the hopeful elect. That's part of showing your due diligence. You know, because we're working out our salvation with fear and trembling.
That's right. So I got
Yeah,
that definition.
exactly. Oh, go ahead.
I was like, the definition of reasonable, it says being in accordance with reason. It says not extreme or excessive.
Yeah, and it's not because some people would tell you and have you believe that what we do is extreme, right? Doing what we do on a Saturday afternoon or evening, right? Being out here like this, that's extreme. Y'all don't have anything better to do?
Oh, you taking it too literally.
Right. This is too extreme. No, the Lord said this is reason. We're not extreme.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
This is the least that you could really do. Because we're really on borrowed time. See, the world don't have that mentality, but we are. You got that slogan in the world, my body, my choice. No, the hell it isn't. It isn't your body. First of all, these are loners. All right?
Yeah.
And how do we know that? But what happens if you die? The body gonna go into the ground and decompose, and the Lord, all right, the spirit gonna send back to the Lord who what? Who gave it? Who put that spirit in the body? You ain't do that. Who's the arbiter of life and death? Yakalba Page. And see, our expectation is to get new bodies anyway. But, you know, just sticking on the topic, this is our reasonable service, man. All right? Now, we're hoping to be exceptional men, but that glory is going to come from on high. So, you know, I wanted that word because it puts it into perspective, man.
Done.
And that's what we're all about. We're about proper perspective. So, if there's any more to that, brother?
Yeah,
Okay.
because reasonable goes back to reason. It says a statement offered in justification. It says a rational ground or motive. It says the thing that makes the fact intelligible.
Intelligible?
Yeah, is that intelligible?
Yeah, intelligible.
Yeah, intelligible. Yeah, got it.
Right. Now, the word intelligible, or even the word intelligence, literally goes back or means to choose between. To choose between. Okay? The ability to distinguish something. Now, in this case, we're talking about the right and the wrong things. Brothers are going into not serving the flesh. Are we in the flesh? Yeah, we are. So do we have sensations? Do we have desires? Do we have appetites? Absolutely. But the objective is to rule them as best as you possibly can so you continually please the Lord by presenting yourself a reasonable sacrifice. That's what the Lord considers acceptable. Us being in the mindset of putting His will before our own. All right? So, gone.
Going back to what you had, and you had Romans 12, right? Yeah, Romans 12.
Yeah, actually I wanted to get, a brother can give me Sirach 19 and 18.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 and verse 18. Give me a moment. Alright, yeah, Sirach chapter 19 and 18. Right, read. It says, the fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of Him.
Yeah, so in order to actually be considered by the Lord, the first thing you got to do is fear Him. Because when you fear Him, that automatically pushes you, you know, obviously to do what He says to do. You know, so if you fear the Lord, you know, you're gonna not do certain things, and then you're gonna make sure that you do certain things. Why? Because the Lord said so.
That's why you don't see a sugarcoating them.
Yup.
Because you can't afford to sugarcoat anything with Jake. Because for the most part, they don't take anything too seriously until they start really feeling the heat of something. That's why we gotta come with straight fire, straight heat, which is the word. So the way the word is supposed to be delivered is unadulterated. Through the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. How do you instill fear in somebody? Right? That's what we're talking about. Establishing the foundation of fear.
That's right.
You got to tell them in a very particular manner, man. Look, if you don't get right, the Lord's going to destroy you. That's not nice. You're not going to hear that being taught in the church. As a matter of fact, the scriptures say that they hate him that rebuketh in the gate. And that's what we're doing. We're doing an open rebuke on Israel. Because we know that our lives are at stake. You understand? Our lives are at stake. Meaning what? Meaning the Lord said you gotta, whether they hear or whether they forbear, warn. So we're warning them of the judgment that is to come. And it's a judgment for the nation of Edom. There's a judgment for the heathen nations. There's a judgment for the wicked among the Israelites. There's a judgment coming to the earth. There's a second death coming, by way which will be of thermonuclear fire. So you don't say that, well, listen, brother, you're going to have to start doing the right thing, because somebody, ain't going to take that serious. Yeah. They're going to take it lightly. And this thing is, you can't afford to take this truth lightly. This is the truth. I know we say that, but when you really think about the value, well, really it's invaluable, but when you think about what it's able to do for you, okay, and what the Lord can do for you if you abide, like the salvation, the continual mercy we're being shown, you would be in a serious mindset if you fully understood the gravity of what you're involved with, like the apostles and elders always say. So we take this thing very serious because it's deadly serious. I know brothers are wanting to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, just to add to your point, because if we don't do this, or relax daisical on it, so to speak, the Lord is like, look, I send you out there, and if you don't do it, I'm gonna kill you.
Yes.
And stuff. Because Jacob be like, well, Lord, I didn't do it because you already told me they weren't gonna listen. The Lord's like, well, how you know I couldn't turn that person back?
Right.
Why you didn't go to that? Why you didn't go to that city over there?
See, this is why context is important, because there's parameters for everything.
Yeah.
There's parameters for everything. And the reason why the Lord set it up the way he did is because he knows Jake gonna come up with excuses.
Yep.
But see, by that he has been condemned. Right?
Yeah.
Because why? If you're not really fulfilling the will of the Lord like the Lord has set up it to be, then you're really condemned already. Because the scriptures say, he that believeth not on me, as the scriptures have said, is condemned.
Already. Yep.
So that's, a scripture for your point, because there's a very particular way that the Lord wants things done.
And to be exact, each man has a specific gift that the Lord gave him to do what he's supposed to do. Some brothers get more at teaching.
Exactly.
Some brothers, are good with the, in these times the tech or
information. That brothers are like literal, encyclopedias.
Yeah.
Spiritual encyclopedias, man. Pulling out information from every angle down to dates and all that. That's a gift, because you might be able to recall an event. When you got a brother that give you the headline, the date when it dropped, all the historical events and accounts and all the sub info, you fed, you full of let me give myself a minute to digest this, because the truth is like layers anyway. The truth is like
about it more,
because it's depth. It's there's depth.
I think about it because I remember back in school, the best class that I always loved, which I always go back to the scriptures anyway, was your history or social studies.
Right.
Well, this is our real history book right here.
Exactly.
But like just getting into that, the main thing I like to do, I didn't know why I found myself doing it. After we go and read whatever we might come back the next day in class, might do a little paper, but then we have a discussion period. So Jake back in the world used to be like, damn, I gotta discuss it now, because why? They really didn't read up.
No.
They didn't do what they were supposed to do, so now they really can't add to the conversation. I'm read up. Right. So it seemed like me and the teacher and maybe a few other students are like going back and forth, like, yo, because I don't know why that really happened, but like maybe, you be able to dive deep into it. You really get into the spirit of what you're getting into. So it's the same thing with the truth.
That's right.
You got certain brothers that have certain gifts, and the Lord has put you there for a reason, man. Each brother has their own thing. If you don't use that gift The scriptures say the Lord will take that shit away from you and give it to the next man that really wants it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a deadly and an embarrassing thing at that.
Yeah.
When your spot is being taken,
Yeah.
you know the Lord could have a man take your spot that damn near look exactly like you.
Yeah.
Yo, I've seen that. I'm like, hey brother, what happened to that brother? Oh yeah, that brother fell out. I was like, I thought I just saw him on the camera. No, this is another brother. I'm like, yo, he look exactly like that brother, man.
Yeah.
He look exactly like that, man. That's
the scriptures. That's reminiscent of what? Many are called, few are chosen. Because right now we in a period of being called.
that's right.
Right?
That's right.
We fulfilling a calling. You know? And if you're not one of the Lord's elect, then you can lose that. Right? Because you gotta be called. You gotta be chosen. Right?
I got this on definition because we said that we're calling, right?
Right.
It says a calling. It says a strong urge to a particular way of life, or career, or vocation. Okay, which is like your profession. You know, so it's like, well, we have this strong urge. This is a calling.
Yeah.
All right. So we have this strong urge to this career, basically.
Yeah.
You know, this is a career. You know, and when you're in a career, you really gotta get deep in, whether it's carpentry, electrician, you know, being an electrician, whatever career brothers is in, culinary. You really gotta get deep into it to really appreciate it. You know. You know, our people, you know, they don't take the calling serious, so that they don't make the cut. You know, you see a dude lackadaisical on the team coming to practice 40 minutes late, you know, half-assing it on the field. Like, yo, get this nigga out of here, man.
And that's a good example of somebody who also lacks fear, because if you're not leading with the consequences of or the repercussions of the things that you're doing, like if you know, like you're like, I'm gonna be let go, they're gonna cut my ass, right? You show up to late once, show up to, you know, like using your example, you show up to practice late once, then you do it again, but you already had that talk with the coach, and he already told you what was gonna happen if you do it again, or if you continue to do it, and you're like still repeating that behavior.
Pride.
Yeah. But what can overrule pride? Fear.
Yeah.
Because fear is a motivator.
That's right.
It's a good medium to make proper decisions. And I always use this example. When you come to a damn traffic light, what motivates you to follow the directional?
Fear of a ticket.
Fear of a ticket, fear of a collision, who you could hurt, who could hurt you.
Yeah.
That's fear.
That's right.
Like I'm going, you know, I'm gonna chill. You know, I'm not gonna try to, you know, run the light or whatever, you know.
Which is really respect.
Well, respect.
Yeah.
Well, the word respect goes back to
fear,
reverence. Reverence means fear. That's it.
You know, so our people have, well, no, because you got people that say, well, I love the Lord, I don't fear him.
Right.
That's not, you don't
Right.
really love the Lord.
Because you might be lackadaisical, like just using the example that you were using again, but dude was like, man, but I don't want to get cut for the team, and I don't want to have that talk with coach again. So fuck everything else, you know. I'm getting my ass to practice, right?
That's right.
Because you might still have that lackadaisical attitude, but what's going to override it to be that dominating and motivating factor, right?
Yeah. Because what's that?
Because you got, you know, that. Hey,
what's that scripture?
it's important to note that being in this flesh, it comes with its challenges, right? So we could use that as a real genuine example.
What's that scripture? I'm trying to think.
But the thing is, you don't want to fall into the trap of continuing in that state of mind.
He will not be pacified.
So what are some motivators? Oh well, we got to teach. We got to do what the Lord asked. We got to do what's being expected of us. And that goes back to the precept that you getting into, because I want to bring that back out. But that's all comes back to what? Fear is the beginning. Having that good, solid, foundational fear of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and of the consequences, right? You know, this is the difference between life and death. Yeah. Bring that out real quick, and then we're gonna go back to that brother's point.
Because this is like wrapping up what we just had right there in the spirit. It's this is Ecclesiasticus 5 and verse 6. Yeah, verse 6. It says, "And say not his mercy is great, he will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, and his indignation resteth upon sinners. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, but and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in a day of vengeance. And that basically wraps up everything we just in that segment, you know, because you might think, oh, I'm cool with the coach, I love the coach, you know, got mad love for me, but you over here always late. You know, you think, he's merciful, he's gonna be pacified for me just doing what I want to do. No, the Lord's gonna jack you up. If he's done jacking you up, then he's just gonna push you to the wayside. You go run them laps a couple times, but if that don't fix you up, then the Lord's gonna just cut you from the team. Right. You know?
Yeah, because this thing is ultimately a commitment. So
that's right.
How committed are you? How serious are you? The Lord would prefer that you either be hot or cold, nothing in between.
That's right.
Got precept, if you don't mind.
Of course. But then we're gonna let this brother finish off his.
This kind of helps solidify your point that you were making, because realistically, like the reason why wickedness has gone forth so much is because there's no more repercussions for that wickedness, right? So like that the brother was using an example of like being late, like there's no repercussion, for the wrong which you do. You're gonna continue to do that wrong, even if you know, okay, you know something's gonna eventually happen, it never comes. Then you kind of, you know. You might be late to work one time and, you know, the boss don't say it, right? So you're like, oh shit, well, might be cool. Even though you know it's against the rules, and they told you, in orientation that you can't do that. You said, oh, well, you know, you didn't write me up this time. Then next you know, 10 times later, now you're paying the back bills for all the 10 times, you were late. So I just want to solidify that point with the precept. So Habakkuk 1 and 4. It says, therefore the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth.
Go. Yeah, so that's the point. Going to the brother's point that they made. Basically, give me real quick. Give me Isaiah 1:5.
And that like proves that there's no fear. There's no fear of Yahweh Shemel of that judgment, because the judgment is basically kind of slack. It's It's a weight in that judgment that goes forth from that wickedness. There's like a little bit of a waiting period, so people kind of like take that slackness, as like a weakness, and think that they have basically license to sin. Like everything's okay.
Done. So, if the brother got real quick, Isaiah 1:5.
Yeah, I got it. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 5. It says, "Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint."
Yeah, so what? But back then, I mean, even now still, the Lord's like, hey, what? Why should I even waste my time, put a judgment on you if you're not even going to turn back and repent? So just like the brothers were just saying, for the coach, he might, for the guy who keeps on showing up late, you might make him run suicides, or, you might make him, do this and that, run laps and shit. And then let's say that guy, he just doesn't care, then hey, eventually he's gonna get cast out. Same with the Lord. So at the end of the day, the Lord's not gonna waste his time, with somebody who's not actually truly serving him and who fears him. Like it says in Ecclesiastes, basically, a sinner. How does it go? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Right? But yeah, go ahead and continue.
Yeah, Sirach chapter 19 and verse 18. It says the fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him, and chachamar, and wisdom obtaineth his love.
Yeah, so in order to truly be accepted of the Lord, you gotta, again, you actually gotta fear him. You actually gotta do what he said to do. And where is it? Where do you find, the commandments of the Lord? Within the book. The laws, statutes, and commandments are all ordained onto us so that we keep them. And the scripture's about to say it's not grievous, or it's not, the law's good, basically paraphrasing.
I got it. This is Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament, chapter 8, verse 12. It says, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, was fear before him.
Yeah, so, you know, that's why you see a lot of these jakes, you know, you might ask, well, okay, so how come, you know, I'm in the truth, you know, I'm catching all this hell, but, you know, these jakes be living worse than me, you know, doing a whole bunch of wickedness, you know, every single day, but, you know, they don't catch nothing, man. You know, they out here in they whips, you know, they out here, you know, doing whatever, and nothing's happening on them. That's because the Lord isn't dealing with them. If we read what is, I believe, Hebrews 12, where it speaks about the chastisement of the Lord. You know, the Lord chastises his servants, so like we don't be bastards like, you know, these people out here. And really, if the Lord puts judgment on you, you know, let's say you do something that's not sound, and the Lord judge you real quick for that, man. Why? Because that shows that the Lord loves you. You know,
on that right track.
Yeah, he puts you back on the right track, you know.
With fear. With the fear. Because you're going to be like, damn. Like, when you do something that's an error or a miss, you should be like, damn, I went off. Let me correct it, because the Lord could bring a judgment, you know, onto me. He can, you know, like if I do this, that could get me out of the truth. That's how I be like, you know. So like me, I always examine, right, myself being in the faith, as all brothers should do, all right, and my conduct, you know, how I actually carry myself and stuff, like, because everything matters. Nothing is spoken in vain, right? You know, different instructions that's given unto us. The Lord didn't just say, all right, do this, and then that was nothing. Ignore it. You don't add or take away from the book. And the Lord, like I said, he put obviously men, all right, that we are supposed to be obedient to, that are watching and caring for our souls. So if a order, anything goes out, we got to go in and fulfill it. Simple as that, you know. If the apostle said right now, no GMS camp to go out because they know that something about to happen, right? If we go out there, we'll be subject to what that follows. But if the apostles already got the foresight, which they do, and we end up saying, okay, wow, okay, we followed it. Hey, we see that they got us out of danger and harm's way, which the apostles are doing it by what? Preaching this word, we obtaining to the report and taking heed, which heed going back to listening and being obedient. Kind.
Yeah, that's like you have a father,
Yep.
you know, and then he has the oldest son, Yahushua, you know, and he's like, hey, you already know what Pops want. You know, we gotta clean up this crib, you know. Yeah. You got other brothers like, all right, cool, let's go clean up. You got that one motherfucker in the corner. One brother's like, I ain't gonna clean my room. I'll do it last minute.
Okay.
Thinking that he could get it in, all of a sudden, Pops come home, like, hey, yo, what the, looking, scanning, all right, look at the one, yo, what the fuck going on, bro? Yeah. He's like, did anybody tell his ass? He's like, yo, we kept on telling him. You know, he was like, so they told you I was gonna fuck you up, basically, but you didn't care.
You didn't think I was gonna do it?
He's like, all right, bet. Now you really about to get the judgment, and that's what a lot of people have done, you know? You know, ultimately you got the overseers, which is the apostles and elders. It's like, you know, older men, older brothers to tell the younger brothers, you know, what the Father really wants, man. You know, and they're looking out for our souls, as the brother said. You know, I got the latter end of that though. It says, but verse 13. This is Ecclesiastes 8:13. It says, but it shall be not well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days.
Yeah, so the Lord's letting you know it's not going to be well with the wicked. You know, scriptures say not to envy a sinner. So, you know, you shouldn't be, oh, you know, this guy, he's doing whatever he wants, you know, and he's not receiving nothing. Hey, that dude's going to receive his judgment, man. That the Lord got something, you know, big and, you know, it's a real grievous judgment prepared for that dude, man. So you shouldn't be worrying about, oh, you know, blah, blah, blah. Because what, at the end of the day, all sinners, all the ungodly will catch their judgment.
That's right. It says, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Yakalba Page.
Exactly. So all these, I mean, you can hear it, man, from many celebrities. They say, oh, you know, the years went by fast, man. You know, time flew by. You know, it's like, you know, my prime is gone now. You know, and that's how it be. But what? The ones who actually serve the Lord, what's prepared for them? The kingdom. You know, which in the kingdom, you receive immortality.
That's right.
What it says in 2nd Ezra, how basically the man man, it's an Israelite man, is created to be immortal.
Yeah.
You know.
That's enough.
So at the end of the day, us, at the end of the day, us serving the Lord, Yakalba Page, our days are going to be prolonged ultimately. And even if you gotta be a martyr within the truth, once all hell breaks loose, you know, you're still gonna, your days are still gonna be prolonged, you know, because you're gonna receive that immortality.
That's right. You're only sleeping up for that moment, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, you're gonna get the first go rounds in the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, you're gonna be
first dibs.
Yup, you're gonna be first one to come with Yahweh Shai, because not even the ones who are still alive, you know, as the elect, will you know, come before the martyrs, because the martyrs will rise up with Yahweh Shai first. It says that in second or first, in Thessalonians, I believe.
And there's a difference between an honorable death and a dishonorable death.
Yeah.
That's why you read Daniel's 12:2. It tells you that some are going to wake up to everlasting content. All right? Meaning, essentially, if you were an Israelite on this side, you took a chip, right? And you get destroyed, you're going to deal with that regret for some time. You know? You're going to deal with that. Okay? You're going to deal with that. You're going to be ashamed. Right? Like when you do something in this kingdom, what do? You know? You feel ashamed. Like, damn, man. You know? And then you strive to obviously do better moving forward. But, yeah. So we want if we do have to go, we want an honorable death, you know? You know, something worth dying for is really this truth. Or Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you know?
It's going to be evident because it's going to either be for the word.
Yeah.
When people perish out here in that time, it's either going to be for the word or for wickedness.
Right.
You know? So, because we read in 2nd Ezra 15, it says that the devil's 16, the devil's going to come down with great wrath, and like a madman sparing none. So what? He's going to spoil and destroy those that fear the Lord. So some of the believers, they're going to perish, but they're going to have an honorable death, man. You know? People going to look like, dang, bro, he went out sad, man. Yeah, no, he went out good, man. He's good with the Lord.
Yeah, like a good example of that is Stephen. All right, you know, he had a spirit on him, man, when he was getting put to death, man.
Yeah.
All right, that was honorable.
Yeah.
That's right. Just getting past, you know, because we're in that time of, you know, the Charagma. We're in that time. So, like, you got Jake out here that really think they know that they're Israel. They're out there teaching. But you're going to have men that know that they're Israelites, know all the scriptures, still get the Charagma. When the chariots pull up, be happy as hell thinking they're about to get beamed up into a chariot. And then
Somebody get Revelation 3:10.
the chariots will go low, beam up the elect, and go back in the sky. You like, oh shit! Look at your hand. You're like, yo, what the? This is the thing that's gonna cause me to die and stuff. But you actually have those individuals that give unto to this world, and they're gonna have a dishonorable death. Come back into the kingdom
What's that say?
through the loins of the elect.
Be thou faithful.
Okay,
Be thou faithful.
knowing like, damn, I sold myself to Satan basically. I gave in to Satan, when I should have gave in to the Lord.
Yes. Brother got a precept.
Revelation chapter 3 verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
Yep. So eventually, so us keeping the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, us serving the Lord, you know, he's ultimately going to keep us from the hour of temptation. And we understand that the hour of temptation will be great.
Because we all got a choice to make.
Yeah.
You know? We all got a choice to make.
So we understand, and what the Lord is going to make it real. You know, when people hear about the hour of temptation, they think it's going to be, nah, man, the Lord is really going to, rise up stuff. We already know how it says in Revelation 13:16. It says, when you go down to 17, it says that no man might buy or sell. So within society, if you don't have that charagma, then what's going to happen? You won't be able to buy or sell, so you won't literally be able to buy anything within the bounds of this society.
And you see a lot of so-called Christians and stuff like that. They're like, oh, I'm not taking that thing or whatever. But hey, it's easier said than done because really you gotta have the spirit of the Lord on you in order to endure during that hour of temptation, man. These people don't know the Lord.
Right.
Yep.
Because you got a lot of guys secretly, they might deny that the MOTB is the C-hip, but in their mind, they have a contingency. Meaning if it is, right? If it is what beginning with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone say it is, then they're going to take it. Right? They're going to take it. Because they can't see beyond the flesh. Because they have a family. They have children. Remember, this is why it's better to not be entangled with the affairs of this life. Because the less entanglements you have, the less care you have. The less attachments you have. See, because you got to be in an instant or ready to give it all up for the Lord. Right?
Yeah,
Like
Lord,
if your wife or your significant other were to take, take the your son or your daughter or whatever, and her and him go get C-hit behind your back, and then you find out about it. Well, that's like a spiritual Lot's wife scenario.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
So you gotta be willing to let go. You gave the definition that it's sometimes in more cases than not, it's better to let go than to hold on. You got to let go. Because what you gonna do? Let your woman lead you down that path of destruction? And this is just an example. Because we all to some degree have cares, okay, in this world. All right? We're not careless, so that means we have considerations. All right? We're practical men, all right? But what does that mean? Are we bound by them? No. The only one we're bound by, Lord's will to the end, is Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's who I'm committed to. You know? And most of us are very open about that, if we have significant others or not. I'm open about that. You know? I constantly reaffirm that out loud, and I don't care if my woman there hear it. You know? Yeah, I mean, because even if I say it in a subtle way, I always am reaffirming it. You know? Because I know there's angels and demons listening and watching, and you know?
You gotta let me know.
So that's a form of rebuke. When you affirm that, it's a form of rebuke. You know, them demons are up there stirring either her mind or trying to get into your head. You know? So it's always a reaffirming, like, nah, I ain't taking no damn chip, and you do whatever the hell you want, but you ain't taking me down with you, you know?
And I was gonna say, like, the Lord, he ain't gonna look like, oh, I see why you took it. You just did what's best for your family and stuff. He ain't gonna no.
It's okay, buddy.
Right.
No.
Right.
If you take that thing, man, you gotta know what comes behind it, the consequences behind it, man. If that's in your hand, forehead, whatever body part, you gonna get destroyed, man. You won't get hit with that second death, all right? Which, if you get hit in that second death, is anybody who get hit with a missile, man, is unhonorable death, man.
That's right.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, all the elect will be seeing, because we're going to be in a new body, so we're going to be able to see, everything, man. Yep. So we're going to be able to look down on these people to see them burning, man, in the wickedness.
That's right.
So at the end of the day, if the Lord, and of course, if you have a family, you're supposed to, hope for them, hope that they don't take. But hey, at the end of the day, if the Lord, if it comes down where they take it, your son or your woman might take it, then hey, you should look at it. Okay, well, the Lord didn't choose my son or my wife to make into the kingdom, so I'm going to just go without it.
Yeah, we'll receive 100-fold in the kingdom. You know what I mean? And like the scriptures also say about let the dead bury the dead. So. And have that mindset, man. If they fall too victim to the world and the guilty pleasures thereof, and that ultimate, form of the world being that ship, sea hip, then you just gotta let it go, let them be cast as hell.
You gotta have that mind frame. Once you have the mind frame, look, at the end of the day, if I lose you on this side, I'm gonna get you back. It's all good. You gotta have that. Lose now to gain later.
Yeah, you gotta literally have an I don't give a fuck attitude. Yeah, you gotta care about your salvation first and foremost. All right.
Work out your salvation if you're in trouble.
I got
Don't let nobody take your crown, man.
That's right.
Don't let nobody take your crown. These brothers were talking about, sports and all that. You have like so-called great athletes that dedicated their lives to be one of the greatest in the world. They don't let nobody hold them back. I mean, we don't got to go too deep into like certain guys, but like, Michael Jordan said that, that while he was up practicing all the damn time, the guys in his locker room were doing fucking lines of coke and stuff like that. Like they were like doing like drugs and stuff, and he was going to practice early and all that because he said he wanted to be among the greatest. So that's obviously on the world side. We're trying to lay up our treasures in heaven where moth and dust not corrupt.
No, I was gonna say, who else said it? Just examples of people in the world that have done it. So how much more the spiritual?
Exactly.
You got Shannon Sharp. He said the same thing. He said I couldn't deal with the woman in my younger age because I was all about the game. Then you got what's called LeBron and John Jones said it too. So when he's focused in that mode, he really can't deal with his family, deal with his woman and stuff. What LeBron James said, he's like, how does your wife feel when you're when you got to train for the championship? He's like, I'm not gonna say too much, but let's just say she don't like it. Because he's focused, man. He's focused. He's in the game, and that's the same thing. You gotta be in the spirit. You gotta be locked in. Yeah, brother. You gotta be locked into the spirit, man. Now the people around you will be like, so you don't care about us? At the end of the day, yes. Look, like you said, we have consideration for you, but do I care about you more than the Lord? Hell no. Because I care about myself. I want to make it. If I care about you more than myself, making it, I'ma die. So, and that's that. Brothers don't want that, man. Those will be part of that. You gotta give a damn about anybody else out here in the world, but first you, the brothers, and then then everything else comes after that, man. When it comes to the Lord, it's about you. If you want brothers to make it too, of course. These are your comrades, man. But but first you gotta start with yourself. You can't want it more for brothers than and not for yourself, man. Madness.
Yep, like Paul said, we run a race.
Not as one that beat the air.
We'll get a Sirach 37 and 19 real quick. Sirach 37 and 19.
The scriptures say you got to work out your own salvation, fear and trembling, right? So can nobody want it more than you?
Yes.
All right.
Did we finish Revelation 3 and 10?
And the thing too, iron sharpening the iron too. So when you have two brothers that are striving for that mastery, striving for that perfection, striving for that that kingdom of heaven, it helps guide you to to that end goal, right? That's right. You see another brother passionate,
Yeah, I got a quick preset, something that the brother said.
This is
37 and 19.
Yeah, this is Ecclesiasticus 37 and 19. There is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself.
Because you don't want to be unprofitable to yourself, bro. Right? You know what the right things to say are, but you're not fulfilling it yourself. You got to do this for you, bro. You're not. I'm not doing this for this brother. I'm doing this for my salvation. Because my salvation is dependent on what?
What you do.
That's it. Now, do we help each other along the way? Of course we do, like you said. We want brothers to make it. But at the end of the day, who made the choice? I didn't make the choice. Yahweh made the choice who the elect is and who the elect is not.
That's right.
The only thing I could do is fulfill the role that the Lord gave me, which I'm hoping is to endure to the end to receive that ultimate consolation.
That's right.
So just read that one more time, Michelle.
Yeah. This is Ecclesiasticus 37 and 19. There is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself.
Right, so we want to make sure that we're not only profitable to the brotherhood, but we're profitable to ourselves. We're really in this thing, and really seeking out our salvation like brothers we're going into. So I just wanted that quick point.
I got one to back up.
All right, and then let's get Revelation 3 and 10.
This is
whatever y'all got, but I just want to finish that point in there.
This is Matthew 10 and 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
So does that mean that you don't love your son or your daughter? No. Of course, like I said earlier, we take these things under consideration. We take care of our financial and family obligations, right? We take care of the brotherhood. right? We put ourselves in the service of the ministry.
That's right.
So of course we're responsible for the brother next to us as well as our own personal circumstances. But none of those things come before Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Right?
Yeah. And when you go into that word hate, you know, it means to love less, right?
That's it. That's it. Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah, there's degrees to hate. You know?
Yeah.
There's degrees to hate.
Which you gotta come with the mind frame. Ultimately, if you're the that head of that house, just like Lord Yahushua, when Heavenly Father's looking at us, he's really looking at Lord Yahushua, and we're standing right behind him and stuff. Same thing with your family. You gotta hope that, look, if I don't make it, my family ain't making it, yo. And stuff. So if you have that mind frame, you go do what you gotta do, because there's that chance that the Lord will have mercy on them because of me and stuff, you know.
yeah, it's like, you know, Noah. You know, if Noah didn't continue to do what he was doing, you know, Noah's sons, they weren't out there like Noah was, you know. So at the end of the day, if Noah didn't do what he had to do, you know, the Lord wouldn't hey, they would have been, you know, in that flood too.
They would have perished.
Yeah.
They would have perished.
One man can save a whole plethora of people, man. You know, and stuff. You know, so that's the mind frame that you gotta have. That, look, I'm doing it for me, but I also have in the back of my mind, hey, you never know, the Lord can have mercy on me and everybody else that, you know, that is behind me.
Right. By extension of your faith, you might cover your
Bunch of,
you know,
your whole family, your woman, children. Might have some cousins that they believe what you say, and scripture say friends of the prophets. Those are people that are right behind you and stuff, you know, going on like, yo, I rock with this man heavy. The Lord's like, all right, cool. You gave him rides to camp. Oh yeah, I'll give you a ride, bro. I know what you do, man. I know you're faithful to that thing. The Lord can have mercy on that man, because somebody come up.
Because some of our family, you know, some of them they wicked, but they got what you call redeemable qualities.
Yeah.
You know, they got redeemable. But some we don't want nothing to do with some people. You know, and you can foresee the Lord dealing with that person.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking about your family, or your so-called, you know, people you might know in the words. Like, I know Most High gonna do something. You know, not that you wishing it, but you just know. You know.
God. I was like,
We're and I wanted to get into this word, Lord's will and the Spirit, but the men of the Lord are clairvoyant. Look that word up. Clairvoyant.
Clairvoyant.
All right? Meaning to see clear, or to be able to see and behold future events.
Yeah, like that's like vision.
Yeah. Clairvoyant.
Clairvoyant.
Right? That's an attribute of a prophet, is to be clairvoyant. What does the scripture say? How do I qualify that? What does it say about a wise man?
He foresees
There you go. There you go.
hiding
I
himself.
was just thinking about that.
I got that word too.
Yeah, you got it. You can read it. Yeah. Good, brother.
So a clairvoyant, having clairvoyance, able to see beyond the range of ordinary perception.
Yeah, that's like perception. Remember, the brother was going to perception.
Oh yeah, perception goes back to having intellect and stuff. You know, so the true intellectuals are the ones that can perceive the truth.
Right.
That can see something before it actually happens.
That's it.
Which that is a prophet. He sees and he just calls out. He calls out what he sees before it happens.
And like a good example of that is like if you drive.
That's why it's like slacky. That's why you had the expression beginning with our apostles and others. The reason why they're not doing this, or the reason why they're not, because they can't see it, right? What your spiritual sense, your spiritual eye, your third eye. So I want to throw that.
No, I was gonna say like when you drive, you know, a lot of us be driving a lot. If you're constantly paying attention to only the man in front of you, you won't see the dangers that are 3 cars in front of you. That's why they always say that, you know, pay attention 2 to 3 cars ahead of you. Because you are, you know, with that word, what do you say, clairvoyant?
Yeah, read it again.
Yeah, you see things, you see impending danger before anybody else can. They're over here just looking at the guy in front of them, waiting for them to brake. Meanwhile, you already broke because you've seen that they're fucking up there 3 cars ahead. Like, hold on, I gotta. And then, you know, the guy might look, why is this guy braking? Because I ain't trying to get in the accident that's happening up there, you know? Right. People are too focused on what's in front of them rather than seeing what's beyond that, you know, beyond their perception. And that's just kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah. And then the brother getting the precept real quick.
So you can bring that word out again.
Definition, Webster, clairvoyant, able to see beyond the range of ordinary perception.
Yeah, beyond the range. Like I said, you focus on that one car, meanwhile, you know, prophets are focused on 4 or 5 cars ahead. And, you know, because it was told that, you know, to do that, to look for the evil.
I got another
definition
signs for the word. On Google it says clairvoyant. It says a person who claims to have a supernatural ability to perceive events in the future or beyond normal sensory contact.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's a gift.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's why I said it's an attribute to the prophets.
Yeah, it's like Dr. Fate, you know, for the brother seeing
Oh,
Black
yep,
Adam.
yep,
You know, when he takes the mask, like he's seeing, you know, the future basically. You know, so that's like what.
And how do we know the future? Through prophecy.
Yeah.
The Bible is basically clairvoyance itself right there.
Yeah.
I got a scripture for that too.
What the brother got?
Go ahead.
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 18. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, a lot of people don't have one thing. You know, they don't have the faith, and they don't have, you know, the foresight, you know, to actually see the things that are to come. And when I say people, I mean, you know, our you know, the wicked of our people, they don't have that foresight, you know, to see what's gonna come. You know, so what? They're only focused on temporal things. What their eyes can actually see. You know, that's why, you know, within this world, even, you know, all the heathen, you know, they are, you know, the sky daddy. You know, you guys believe in your sky daddy, your sky god, or whatever. Well, hey, at the end of the day, we have the foresight to see, you know, that Yakalba Page is by makes his return soon, and we have the foresight to see that the kingdom is near, you know, and we have this foresight to see, you know, the things that are prepared for us. But at the end of the day, a lot of and the Lord has it designed that way, so, you know, like the scriptures say, I think 2 Ezra 1.
Because you have like TV shows of people that, because another word for clairvoyant is psychic. So like or somebody that, you know, it says matter of fact, I read it. It says some synonyms to the clairvoyant is a psychic, a prophet, a seer. It says an oracle. But you have a lot of movies that people are like have that ability of, they can all of a sudden their senses like, yo, something's not right, man. You look around, yeah, nah, we gotta get up out of here. All right, I've seen a brother do that before. Like, you look around, you know, he might hear a bang in the background, a loud bang somewhere further. He's like, yeah, I'll give him, it's time to get the fuck up out of here. I was like, looking at him like, you know, first come true, looking at him like, how can you tell something about to go down? Next thing you know, all brothers go home, we look on the news, in that same spot, some crazy shit happened, you know?
That's a gift.
A gift to see things or perceive things before they actually happen.
And we all have that on some level.
Yeah.
Because that's really the spirit.
That's right.
That's really the spirit. You know, when you're able to put things together like that, that's really the spirit.
Yeah.
You know? You know, you got to learn how to harness and hone and pay attention to when the spirit speaks. Okay? You got to incline yourself to be able to identify when it's the spirit.
Yeah.
Okay? And that takes time to develop that.
Quick example, I was going to CVS this morning. I got one foot out the door and something told me, don't go in there. So it is only in tune with my spirit. I listen to it and I do something else. And the Spirit told me, look at that. It happened in the store. The Lord was telling me, don't go in there, somewhere else.
Yeah, and I think you brought out a testimony, like basically, you said you felt something about it happen, you know, cars, it's like a whole bunch of cars, you know, basically hit each other, into each other. Yeah. So what? You know, that shows you that we, you know.
Instead of just like ignoring it and saying, oh, you know, that's just.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, there's a reason. See, I'm going to try my best to explain this because, you know, everything is spiritual. Sometimes it's hard to articulate in the words these different experiences. When you got in your mind something is about to happen, there's qualifiers, right? So it's like, okay, well, where am I at? What's going on? And you start being able to put the things together. So like in that brother's example with the testimony that I gave, that was just one but many signs. So I would be foolish not to heed those warnings. Because the Lord was basically saying, hey, you know, unless of course you want to be a part of that, you know. I'm saying, of course, you learn that after the fact, you're glad that you listened. But, you know, there's qualifying thoughts and things happening that lead you to that ultimate decision. That's why if you don't listen to the Spirit, you be kicking yourself in the ass like, damn, I knew it. Why didn't I listen, man? Why didn't I, you know?
And that's a, the scripture say, you know, having their senses exercised, you know, it comes to a process of time, you know. That's why, you know, when our apostles elders say something, hey brothers, don't be doing, their senses are exercised, man.
Exactly.
They've experienced it on multiple occasions to the fact they see the details before it actually happens. You know,
You're hearing outliers. They're like they know when a guy they're going to do this and do because there's outliers.
That's right.
Right.
Certain things that will tell you before, like simple things like body language, man. Certain body language will tell you if somebody's about to do something outlandish.
Right. And then there's other times where the Spirit just provides what you call divine intervention.
Yeah.
Where you just respond in the moment of something. You don't know why you did it, but you did it, and then that was what caused you to be safe.
That's
where
right.
the Spirit intervened.
That's right.
But the Spirit also speaks to you to warn you of things beforehand too.
Right. The brothers in just add on to this point to edify the body. I remember the brothers always say this in the Spirit. If you know, matter of fact, Scripture says, make a way for you to escape. The Lord will let you know.
Yep.
But you got to be listening. You got to be tuned in. And if you're not tuned in, you're not gonna see the signs. Because the signs are there. It could be something simple. You about to get into some bullshit, and all of a sudden, right before you get into the bullshit, you hear a dog howling outside that's not normal and shit. Little things like that, and we all know how the Lord speaks to each brother. Because the Lord speaks to each brother in different ways and stuff. You know, you might be about to get into the middle of something you know you're not supposed to do, or something that you really don't know if you're supposed to do it or not. And the Lord was saying, you know, some brothers see chariots, some brothers see numbers. You know, some brothers hear certain things, man. But you know how the Lord speaks to you. You gotta tune into that, man. You know.
Bring scriptures out. Who had a scripture? And, you finished with yours?
Yeah.
I'm finished. Revelations.
This is Revelation 19 and 10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. And yeah, as a prophet, like brothers was going into, you know, we're coming and warning people of what's to come. And I have that in the blue letter definition for the testimony. In the Greek it says martyria, and it says the office committed to the prophets of testifying concerning future events. Yeah, so you know the Lord is gonna give you that foresight to know, oh, danger is coming, evil is coming. All right. What did it's also a scripture, Luke 12 and 56. It was like let me get it real quick.
I got a quick precept for you real fast.
Go ahead.
You looking for that? It's Hebrews 1 and 1. It says, the Most High, Yakalba Page, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets. And now we look at that word sundry, it says separate or apart, or in special and various. So the Lord always spoke to different men in certain ways. You got certain men that had angels literally come to them. Some men that had very vivid dreams. You know, the Lord comes in many different ways, man. You know, but you know, it's up to that man to be in the spirit. What's called, you had Samuel that he heard the Lord calling him. You know, came to the priest. He's like, oh yeah, that's the Lord. You gotta take heed to that.
Yeah, that's why, you know, nowadays it's even harder to actually, you know, serve the Lord, because you know, brothers understand that the Lord deals with other brothers, you know, to you know, bring stuff, because you know, of course, you know, the Lord's not sending down angels, you know, coming to brothers like he was in the past. You know,
I forget what apostle. I forget what apostle said. If you see an angel now, you might drop dead.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Especially
scary,
in
man.
these bodies, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get this account with Luke 12 and 56. It says, ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time? And these people don't know what's coming, man. These people think that this place gonna run forever. These people are trying to, you know, working
pension
on
plans.
trying to get their 401k
Right.
and stuff like that, man. Hey, this place, if you have any sort of sense, man, you know that this place is getting ready to, you know, get destroyed, man. This place don't got too much longer, man. But the Lord, you know, He blinded 2/3 of our people. All right.
When you use your clairvoyance to tell them of the dangers that's ahead of them, they'll call you a bug out.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's why you ignore most of it. That's what I'm saying. Right? Proverbs 27:12. The prudent man foreseeth the evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Prudent is subtle. Hold on. It's 1 Corinthians 7 and 14. Back you were saying about the wife and the husband sanctifying each other. It's for the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are we holy. Yeah, so we can still be holy even though we have certain side of the family disagree with certain things, but the other side of the family, you know, are believers. Yeah. So your belief can save, you know, the people in your household. Right? Back to Proverbs 27:12. The prudent man seeth the evil and hideth himself. Look up. Hideth.
Somebody get Psalms 91:1.
It says sathar. This means to be hidden, concealed, to be hidden carefully. Right? So when the elect see evil, through the wisdom the Lord gives us, is going to give us a way, as Brother mentioned before, a way to escape, or a way to hide, to conceal from whatever danger there is. And if we do that or encounter the danger, we're going to give us the ability to endure it. Even if we got to deal with that, we can endure it.
Psalms 91:1.
Psalms chapter 91, verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
It's the secret place of the Most High. All right, which is what? This word, this truth.
That's right.
You know? Utilizing the understanding of the scriptures. You know? Putting these things in the application. That's what's going to cause you to abide in the secret place of the Most High. Ultimately being protected.
Yeah, through knowledge.
That's what's going to keep us stable in the times. It's what's going to keep us protected through our day-to-day. You know, through prayer, right?
Yeah, for the Lord say the water is poison, don't drink the water. And we read the scriptures where it says, you know, I just read 27. If we see it the evil, we go buy bottled water, or we got filters or whatever, we use that knowledge to keep us secure. Thanks for poisoning water. That's just an example.
Mm-hmm.
That could be from anything. That could be from going to work one day, or walking down a certain block, or going to a certain store.
Well, we're living in the valley of the shadow of death, so really we need protection at all times.
Now, you got some neighborhoods where you got to be buzzed in. Yeah. You know, Chinese stores got the bulletproof glass up. You got to be buzzed in certain corners. Like if they get robbed enough, in the corner store, put a buzzer on the door. So you got to, that's like in the cities and all that. They got to put a buzzer on the door now because they keep getting robbed.
Yep.
So you got to look at the person, you got to expect them, you know. You got to maybe have somebody in the back waiting with a shotgun because it's getting dangerous. People are getting desperate, they're getting more bold, and a lot of Israelites and Edomites are opportunists, opportunist criminals.
Yep.
So you gotta be careful. So if you own a store, you gotta have cameras, and you gotta have weapons to protect your shit. So it's stupid to open up a store without weapons and cameras.
Yeah. I was at this Ephraim-ite spot the other day. I opened the door of the work truck. I was parked out front. I went out, but for some odd reason, I ain't shut the door. And it's like, literally like traffic's going by, just a door straight open. When I went in the store, people like, your door, because they didn't speak English. Mm-hmm. They're like, the door is open. It's like, oh, I didn't know. And then luckily the workers in there, they shut it. But they was watching the whole time.
Right.
What's going on outside, and obviously when I come in.
Like a loitering, because sometimes people loiter to case it. or they're loaded to sell drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't know.
Yeah.
It is a public sidewalk, but it's different order. You can stand outside. It's not illegal to stand outside. But if you're in front of a business, it's suspicious. That's why you got to have cameras.
Right. And one thing I wanted to say or add on, we're in a time where the love of many has waxed cold. Brothers, I'm sure, have seen or if you haven't, I'm going to explain. There was a stabbing in Vancouver where the man was with his child and there was an individual vaping, and he simply asked that individual not to vape around his child, and that individual turned around and stabbed him. So this goes to show you the type of environments that we're now subject to. You can't even politely ask somebody to do something that they shouldn't even be doing anyways without a spirit of vengeance possibly overcoming them and doing something. Right?
Yeah.
This is why we got to abide in the secret place of the Most High. All right? You got to apply these scriptures. If you sense something, right? You got alarms buzzing in your head about a particular thing, then you might want to consider it. Like I said before, there are typically qualifiers. So it's like, okay, first of all, you develop a thought about something, right? Qualify it in the spirit. Why am I sensing this? Right?
Pray to the Lord about it.
Because sometimes it is your own thoughts, all right? Right? Or whatever like that. So you got to learn. The reason why I'm stressing this is because you got to learn to be able to differentiate these things. But ultimately, the spirit is going to come into play. Ultimately, the spirit's going to come into play. If the Lord dealing with you, the elect, the Lord going to make a way, provide a way for you to be delivered. This is why we stay prayed up. This is why we, search the scriptures and we apply the scriptures. Because, we're not going to go, it's like if you see a burning house, you're not going to go running into it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You avoid the danger if you see the danger. And I know it's a simple concept, but most of our people don't have that understanding.
That's right.
They don't have that sense.
Yeah. I got a precept for us. This is what we just discussed. It says 2 Ezra 15 and 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation.
And so that's what's coming. Yeah, that's what's coming. You already have elements of that take place too. Whenever there's some sort of crises, you have people bugging out, hoarding things, taken from others. Right? When there was a so-called toilet paper shortage, you had people, gouging the hell out of it. They were buying it up in bulk and then turning around and selling it for, ridiculous prices. People got raided. They got busted for hoarding, toilet paper and, other supplies. But it's going to come to a point where, people are going to do just as the scripture said. Because of the lack of substance, food, water, shelter, security. They're going to have to take matters into their own hands.
That's right. We close to those days now. We are in famine, right?
We're experiencing elements of it, right? But that's a particular script. That's a particular prophecy, right?
I got it right here.
Because it's going to go into how the cities are shut. Right now, the cities ain't closed off. But are there elements of that at play? Yeah. So can we use that to, go into certain things that are happening? Of course. Go ahead.
Right, this is I'll jump on to verse 16. 2 Ezra 15 and 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes."
Right. So we're going to see what's going to happen with this Trump indictment, right? That's going to set a lot of people off.
That's right.
A lot of people wholeheartedly believe in his policies and, his so-called candidacy for the 2024 election.
That's right.
It
says,
now, we know that Esau is working on the left hand, let's say. Esau's working on the left hand. So a lot of the things that we see are being manufactured for particular outcomes. You have a saying, all right, it goes problem, reaction, solution. So, they want civil skirmishes, right? They want chaos because they want to be able to justify what comes next. The social credit system, the 15-minute cities. They already got everything in place, but they are utilizing these different events and crises to incrementally bring these systems into play.
That's right.
So we've got our eyes on everything.
That's right.
The word sedition means to incite
uprising.
Yeah, exactly. rebellious speech, okay?
That's right.
You know, and what's the first thing? As soon as he found out about the, which, you know, publicly, I mean, disclosed it and acknowledged it to the public, the first thing he started doing was, oh, you got to protest. You should be mad. Take it to the street, you know? So what is that doing? That's rebellious speech.
That's right.
You know? And a lot of people, because I believe, what's his platform? Amawam? His social network, I believe.
Truth Media.
I believe he put it put something out on there about it, and people were like, "Nah, after January 6th." So you had some people that had a little bit more sense, you know.
Yeah.
Which that all of itself, you know, was just a test run of sorts.
Yeah.
But read that again, because I'm just giving you an example. Is it going to come a time where people are going to collectively band together to fight against their government? Yeah, and that's what it's saying. Like when they go and make this chip mandatory, like our elders and apostles outline all the time, I'm going to use this information because it's good information. These Bible Belt Edomites, you know, which are most likely Jakes, they're going to uprise. They're not going to stand for that. And I use the example too, of states like Texas, all right, and even Florida. Texas wants to be its own independent state, separate from the rest of the country.
Yep.
You know, so those are elements of what we're reading. But there's going to be particular events that are going to take place that people aren't going to regard no sort of authority.
That's right.
Elected leaders, governors, mayors, police, nobody's going to give a damn. Go ahead.
It says, and they shall not regard kings or princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
And the course of their actions stand in their power, because nobody's going to be there to stop anything, because everything is going to basically be in chaos and disarray.
Anarchy, man.
Anarchy. Right? Especially when this dollar collapses.
Yep.
Right? You got all these talks, all right? Whether it's Saudi Arabia saying that they're going to accept other currencies for the exchange of oil. Because remember, that was what was really propping up the dollar.
Yeah.
Then you got nations in general just pulling away from using the dollar and trading amongst themselves. You know, we talk about the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and then you have other nations that want to apply or they want to have some sort of affiliation, which is going to divide them from whatever agreements they might have with the beast.
That's right.
All right? With certain agreements and pacts that they got. All right? Yeah. Because remember, everything, when you think about war, all right, and the evolving of war, the evolvement of war, things start out, it's like Gerald Celente said, you have currency wars. So what do we have right now? We have a currency war, right? You got inflation. You got people purposely doing that, right, to prop their money system up. But then you also have natural inflation, which is bringing the value of the dollar down, right? Then you have talks about what are we going to use to do the trade for oil and other resources. There's your currency war. And nobody wants to deal with the dollar anymore. That leads into economic war.
That's right.
You know? Nations sanctioning other nations. Oh, we're not going to trade with you, or, you know? Then it leads into a world war, which it's all culminating into that. If you've been following along, man, you know, with these different events. Trade wars, world wars, currency wars. All right, what do we got? Slack this.
That was it on what I had.
All right, read that last little bit, and I think that brings us to time, right?
That's it.
All right, come on.
Verse 17, that'll be the last one.
So I want us to finish on Revelation 3 and 10, because we didn't finish that.
I got it up.
Verse 17, it says, and man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. It says, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and his houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
And men shall be afraid, right? And then ultimately, you know, when we see these different things, again, that's going to be the justification for them bringing in the CBDCs, right? Oh, that's another thing. You got that Fed now, all right, which is what? Your digital currency administered by your federal government.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah. So everything is leading to that. Everything's leading to that. Everything's going digital. They're pulling back the dollar too, right? So the stage is set for these events to take place, which is why we're going to end off on this, okay? Because temptation is going to increase, right? With the phasing out of the dollar, with everything going digital, with resources becoming scarce, temptation is going to grow. Worry, panic is all going to grow. It's all going to increase. It's going to play on the minds of these people to fulfill what we just read there. Right? Where they're going to have to bring in UN troops, Gurkha troops, right? Foreign military. The police ain't going to be enough, right?
Revelation chapter 3 verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my power.
So we're hoping to make it onto the ships. We're hoping to, first of all, you got to escape the hour of temptation first.
That's right.
Meaning you refuse to take the MOTV.
That's right.
All right? And the Lord said he was going to keep us from that, which means when we refuse it, we all got that choice to make. When we refuse it, the Lord is going, through spiritual means, sustain us. Give us what substance we need to survive and endure. All right? And it's going to come with its set challenges. Each brother going to have their darkest hour. All right? Like Yahushua had. But if we be of the elect, then we're going to make it through. And our trust and confidence in Yahushua is going to be what ultimately sustains us, along with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. Okay? That's why it says, hold thou which thou hast. Okay? Hold fast, meaning to retain. To retain. Right? Having the name alone. All right? Right? You might be a believer first couple of months. Let's say all this thing started to pop off. Just having that name alone, right? Could save you. Because we know that there's only one name given among men by where we must be saved. It's Yahushua.
That's right.
You know, so, hey man, that's what we're looking to do. Have the Lord sustain us, Lord's will. All right, then we're going to get delivered, get the new bodies. All right, and then, you know, the Lord going to give us the earth to inherit. You know, we're going to get busy on these nations, put them in captivity. You know, we're going to rule alongside Yahushua, right? Lord's will. So that's what we're fighting for, the kingdom. So with that, we want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto
Yahuwah B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem HaKadosh.
Double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Wa Baba Ball.